Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of No Offense, All Offense. Today, we have a lot to dive into. BB26, creepy producer updates. We have Rubina and Tucker responding. We have Jax versus Brittany. A couple days ago, we talked about Brittany sitting down with Bravo Hot Mic. Now we have Jax sitting down and making some claims against Brittany. So grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something comfy. Hit that like. Don't forget to subscribe and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Pop Culture Vulture and stand-up comedian Joleen Lunzer here for another episode of No Offense, All Offense. This is our pop culture commentary comedy live show where we talk about things trending, our favorite reality shows, reality people, things going on, things we love to hate, things we hate to love, and we do a comedic twist with it. I roast it, I react to it. Remember, I'm very opinionated, but that doesn't mean you have to have the same opinion as me. You guys are welcome to sound off in the live chat or the comment section. As long as we're respectful, we can just agree to disagree.
That's my opinion!
Just my opinion. Now, everything I do say in this stream, you guys, true. It's 100% true, except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly. We're here to have a good time, talk about stuff, have some laughs. So make sure you guys smash that like. It's a free way to support the channel. It also lets the YouTube algorithm know we're live and invites other people to join us in our wonderful Lean Team live chat where you guys really make the show. So hit that like now. Let's set a goal and see if we can hit 100 likes in the first 5 minutes. If one of my mods doesn't mind keeping me updated on the like count, that would be amazing. If you want to support the channel further, you don't have to, but you can always send a super chat here on YouTube. I'll highlight your comment. We'll talk about it. You can also send a super thanks on YouTube after the video post. Thank you, Amy. Amy just sent me a super thanks on YouTube. So thank you very much for doing that. Amy, no flippin' why. Appreciate that. Otherwise, consider joining my membership here on YouTube or one of my tiers on Patreon, because you do get exclusive content. And every Monday and or every other Monday, you're going to be getting a live stream for my members and supporters. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, how is everyone doing? Thursday. Tonight, I'm also going to be going live during the East Coast airing of Real Housewives of Orange County. It'll be the reunion part 2, 1, 2, 3. So we did and well, we didn't go live for but I did do a recap of it. We're going live for 2 and 3. Okay, so join me tonight. Let me double check and see what time I'm going to be able to watch it, because I got the Sling TV, you guys. So if Sling TV is watching, feel free to sponsor me. Okay, because I'm a big fan of the Sling TV. Even bigger fan if you sponsor. No. I think it's 6 o'clock Eastern, but I'll post something up. Let's see, after this live in the community tab here on YouTube and let you guys know. And then we can all watch it together. What am I doing? Okay, I'll figure it out later. I don't want to keep you guys hanging here, but I'll be here. And thank you, Care Bear, for dropping my Patreon link. And thank you, Chickenhead PK Dorkface Neely, for starting off the live with the first super chat, saying, so happy I get to see you live. I'm so happy that you're here and you get to see me live as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're wonderful. I hope you're having a great day. So let me get first things first. Let's talk about the Instagram live. So yesterday I did I think it was pretty in depth as far as Big Brother and reality TV goes, about what's going on post BB26, post Big Brother 26, is we have an alleged creepy producer thing going on where Tucker and Rubina, 2 of the house guests who engaged in a showmance, found out that intimate video of them that wasn't aired on the live feeds, that production was able to see because they have many cameras in the house, that it was shared into a group chat of Tubina, which is their showman's name, Rubina and Tucker. It was this producer, this PA person shared this video of them getting it on in a group chat. She also shared details about Tucker's peen. She went on her social media to kind of encourage people to vote Joseph to get the veto so that he could go home, among other things. So Rubina and Tucker, we heard rumblings of this about a month ago. Then we didn't hear anything again. Until people started coming forward when they saw this PA, this producer, hanging out with Rubina and Tucker postseason. She was at parties with them postseason in LA and then was in New York. Rubina just got back from New York visiting Tucker. And this lady was there hanging out at Tucker's place. And that's when people started spilling the beans and going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you guys realize that those rumors about a sex tape that was sent by someone in production, it was her, allegedly. And so they scheduled an Instagram Live last night to talk about that. So I have the Instagram Live, but only the parts where they talk about this, because the other parts we're not really here for that. We want to hear what they have to say, because a lot of us are wondering, like, what happens now to this producer? She seemed to have wiped her social media. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph said, Joleen did a great breakdown. I appreciate that. She seemed to leave social media or protect her tweets, and can't find her on Instagram. People said she removed herself from staffing sites. I imagine Big Brother isn't going to be inviting her back as a PA or producer on the show, but we'll see. So let's take a listen to Rubina and Tucker last night, and I'll be stopping and reacting to things they say. And feel free to sound off in the chat all of your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions when it comes to this. Their reaction to finding out that this woman in production, who they thought was their friend, who they just hung out with in Tucker's house, is actually allegedly the one who was sharing all of this personal information about them in video she wasn't supposed to take because it wasn't aired by Paramount Plus, CBS, Big Brother in Live feed. She took video of them engaging in their intimate moments and shared it and talked about the size of Tucker's wiener and all that stuff. And if you missed the full breakdown, just go to yesterday's No Offense, All Offense, which would be the 13th. And I break it all down for you. All right. So give me a thumbs up in the chat when you guys can hear the audio on this. And I'm going to hit play.
For everyone that doesn't know, we're doing this because there's been a big thing circulating on the internet about someone from production that took behind the scenes footage of Rubina and I in bed, and it wasn't on the feeds, and sent it to people, was kind of feeding Tubina fans, telling them information they shouldn't have, regarding a number of things. And it wasn't, we had the most of it, but there was other people also involved. There was stuff about Joseph and how he should be voted for America's veto and whatever. Just a big breach of contract. Sorry, I'm covering the mic. Just a big invasion of our rights and privacy. And we were hanging out with the person a few days ago. I had no idea, we really thought we really liked them, and then didn't know this stuff was happening, didn't know it was her, and just wanted to say thank you to all of you for bringing it to our attention. And you want to talk, Rubina?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like I think it all resurfaced, I guess you could say, because people had our backs so much, which I'm really grateful for, that saw us hanging out with her, because we shared stuff to socials, and then people were like, wait, is this the same person who? And yeah, I've seen all y'all saying that you're sorry that we even have to address this. Honestly, I feel the same way. I feel like, did we not just spend, I don't know, and specifically I'm going to speak for myself, I don't know, an extended period of time being in the same, you know what I mean, like in a mind fuck of a place anyway. And then here we are outside. I really thought, we're good. And yeah, it still feels like I'm in the Big Brother house.
Yeah,
having to. Yeah,
it sucks to come out of that place where you can't really trust anybody but production.
Right.
And now it's like it's only one person, so production and it's you can't let the whole bunch be spoiled by it. But it is it just messes with your head. It's like I know I'm feeling, and I know Rabina is a lot of different things at different times, and we're very it's just weird and something we've never experienced, so it's hard to explain how we're feeling.
Like, first of all, Tucker and I are already navigating something we both have never navigated like this before. Like, our stuff is already very public, and we're grateful for the support, of course, but then this is a different level of, I don't know, feels, I don't know, gives me the ick about the, like, we're okay with some things. Obviously, you all saw us, I guess, fall in love, and I love that we got to share that with you. But then there are other things that I feel, wow, maybe could have just been for us.
Yeah.
And should just be for us. And,
and that was supposed to just be for us because the feeds are cut, and there's not only is it just like, not only was there a video taken from the behind the scenes monitors and stuff when they were cut, but there was also lots of things
discussed
said in the video, lots of things texted afterwards, and also other things texted from, there was stuff I tried to, I don't know, whatever. I tried to self-evict one night and was about to do it. And
not because
that was all
of me.
No, that was all talked about in the chat. Stuff about my privates was talked about. A whole bunch of things, and we didn't think it was real. We tried to find the videos for a long time, couldn't find it, and thanks to you guys.
Meanwhile, this is all like while I'm in New York visiting Tucker. Our last day together, here's what we're dealing with instead of just being able to enjoy the day, even the night before.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I mean, look, I'm not trying to make this bigger than it needs to be, but obviously I feel like it is a big deal because, what about everyone else? What about future seasons? What about
and
anything ever before?
So it's a hard feeling because it's like I don't like to do bad or put anyone in a bad scenario, and it's like it's on us, but at the same time it's not, that it was done by them. All right, I'll re-explain it. I'll summarize it because people are asking. So someone that worked the live feeds on production, when the feeds were cut, when Rabina and I were in the HOH room, they recorded it and sent it to TUBINA fans and was in a group chat with a bunch of people, and inappropriately talked about us, and was also like just breaching the contract and totally like sharing stuff.
It's like we have a contract, but there's a separate one as someone who is on the in, that is just a bigger deal. I feel like, we obviously sign our rights away to like be recorded. We're on there 24/7, but on the other end, like that.
Yeah, well, we did expect someone just said, explain why you expected privacy when the show is 24/7.
Yeah, I understand that also.
And I'm gonna get that, but that's also in the contract is like, if they're not supposed to show anything like that. It's a family show. And it's happened a few times before, and it was sort of an issue, but it was posted, it was on the feeds, and that just happened. But then, like, for something to be not on the feeds but recorded and then re-put out there, that's the real issue here.
Exactly, that it was decidedly not supposed to be shared, and then it was shared by someone who was in a position to make that decision regardless of what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they were trying to influence the outcome of the show with the tweets about Joseph and who knows the other stuff, and also the fact that this has just happened. We don't know how many other times it's happened or whatever. So
Right.
you feel
But this one just is out.
I don't like
So
to be the, like I said before, and I know Rubina's the same, to be the person to have to confirm something negative about somebody.
Right.
But in the
I
end,
think that's why I was ignoring it for a little bit, honestly.
yeah.
And it wasn't until it was brought to my attention repeatedly that I was like, okay, I guess this is a big freaking deal, because it takes a lot to bother me. I'm typically unbothered by so many things. But I think also I just, feels a little.
No, it's very weird. And it sucks, because it's like, one, after being in that house, I felt like I had a really good judge on people and how I read people, because I've studied that a lot too, and that was a good test for it. And then just to have this, and she was in New York at the same time as Rubina. Don't know if that was
planned.
Yeah, just don't. Just
okay. I'm just gonna pause real quick because we're 8 minutes in. It's only 12 minutes, and this isn't the full Instagram live. This is just when they were talking about the incident. Now, this was the creepiest part for me, when they mentioned that this woman just happened to be, this producer, this PA, just happened to be in New York at the same time as Rubina was going to see Tucker. And Rubina and Tucker are very forthcoming, even doing vlogs, with their fans and stuff, about when they're visiting each other. And I'm sure, being friendly with her, she probably brought it up. Yeah, I'm going to go see Tucker. And this woman just happens to be in New York at that same time. And now they're wondering, was that planned? Because this is allegedly a woman who was taking video with her own device, her own phone, recording it off of the production screens, things that weren't being shown to us on the live feeds, sending it to people within this group chat who were big fans of this showmance with Tucker and Rubina. She had a candle lit at her desk, like very big Rubina fan. And then Rubina goes to see, post show, her now boyfriend Tucker in New York. And then this lady is there at the same time, yet she lives in LA. I mean, right? You have to wonder now, like, if you're willing to do all this. I mean, this is a lady who engaged in adult who allegedly engaged in a conversation in this group chat about, like Tucker said, my privates and the size of them and how it would Wreck-It Ralph her. I don't, just a lady who was supposed to be, working in production, being somewhat professional, not sharing this information just to anybody or any group chat of super fans. And now she just happens to be in New York when Rubina's there, and they're like, oh, cool, because they don't know at the time this is the same woman that's being alleged to have had this group chat. And it seemed like she solicited this group chat. Like, she wanted people to, this is just my interpretation of what I saw. It was like she was very proud, almost like, look what I have, look what I can see, and a little bit borderline, maybe unhealthily obsessed with the two of them, to the point where you would risk losing your job and also doing something that's just morally gross to these people, and then smile at them in the face like you're their friends and they can trust you. But I don't know. I wouldn't trust any of my friends who would take an intimate video of me they're not supposed to and then share it with strangers. That doesn't sound like a friend to me. So yes, they have to wonder, is she stalking them, like Pamela's saying? Janet says, creepy. Joseph says, I have shivers. This is creepy as F. I don't like to curse much. So guys, I'm sorry for cursing. Kira says, they are way nicer than me. I would have came online saying she better be fired. I think they're playing it very safe, obviously, because they're still under contract. I also think it's like shell shock to them. They just found out that this chick is allegedly the chick who's been spreading all this stuff. And I also think Rubina, it's just different, Rubina being the woman in this situation. She was already very self-conscious, even though she's a 35-year-old woman, and who cares if she's hooking up and, engaging in, consensual sex. Who cares? Like, more power to you, girl. But she'll explain later, being raised Catholic and just being a woman in general, I feel like we're kind of conditioned to be like, I don't really want to make too big of a deal, because you don't want to, because people already are going to be like, They're gonna be questioning, well, why'd you do it? Well, why would you even have sex on camera? Why would you, well, yes, you can, like Tucker was saying, oh, they can't show that kind of stuff. Well, they can. They decide what they want to show. So if Big Brother would have shown this on the live feeds, I don't think they would have, you can't complain then. But if Big Brother, the production company itself, who now owns the rights to those videos and is supposed to decide what to do with those videos, if they decide to put it out, that's one thing. But if one of their employees just decides to take a video of it from their personal device and then go share it with people, that should be a huge breach of their contract. I mean, anyone who's ever worked in corporate America or a job, there are protocols, there are rules against even sending out emails to your own. I remember working in corporate America and sending like a picture that someone sent me and sending it to my own personal address. And we started to get dinged for those, where that would set an alert because they didn't want any kind of confidential information from the company, from the corporation, going out to random people. And this would be a very similar thing, even though it's like silly in a reality show. It's still the footage, the video, CBS, Paramount, a Big Brother, that's their content to do what they want with it. And they have their cast and crew sign their contracts, but the fact that one of their employees took that and did what she wanted with it, that's a big deal. I know a lot of people are like, what's the big, it's a big deal. I would think that Big Brother and Paramount would go, oh, we got a problem here, and I'm sure this isn't the first time this has ever happened, for sure, that someone has taken, property, whether it be video or whatever, and sent it out when it wasn't theirs. I mean, just if I play live feed stuff here, CBS will ding me right away for copyright. So this woman is able to take video of them and then share it with strangers. I mean, there's got to be something they can do about it. But I did notice Rubina, she's I think she's shell-shocked. I think she doesn't want to seem like a difficult woman. They don't want to seem like they're overreacting. They're also probably a little concerned about burning a bridge with CBS and Paramount for future opportunities of a lot of shows they have. But it is important to recognize the difference that Rubina has to live with versus Tucker. Now, Tucker, huge invasion of privacy, and what they said about him, and you can tell he's like, ugh, this is gross, but I think his reaction is less shame on himself, where Rubina, you can tell that she's struggling, like, I know I shouldn't think it's my fault, but I kind of think it's my fault just for engaging in like a consensual act between two adults that we've seen on Big Brother before, and you shouldn't feel any shame. I don't think Tucker feels shame, and this is just me, reading it. If you guys read it different, feel free to let me know. I think Tucker is more just disgusted, like that someone would do this to them, and just like, like what a shitty person. But I think Rubina, you could tell she's kind of internalizing this a little bit. So it was sad to watch when I watched it yesterday. It's sad to watch when I watch it right now, watching Rubina kind of struggle with this.
You just don't know, and there's past relationships they've been in where the people say that they are abusive and manipulative and stalkery and whatever. But yeah, I didn't know about any of this stuff. I invited her over for brunch, and we all went to brunch together, and then we just came back to the house and played some games, and that's when you guys did it. So I'm just trying to, I always try to keep the glass half full mentality, so I'm just trying to look at it as a blessing in disguise, because if that didn't happen, then maybe none of this stuff would have gotten surfaced as it should have. But it still doesn't make it easier for us.
I mean, we both do the same thing where, like, even if the situation is not obviously necessarily in our best interests, or it's not, if you look at it point blank, it's not a good thing, we can find a way to spin it into something that is a blessing in disguise, that is for a reason, that is maybe bigger than just about us, but maybe will protect future players. And if we have to be the catalyst of whatever, then at least let something good come from it. At least let future players be even more protected. At least, you know, let it be for something that sets everyone else up for a better post-show experience. Because what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's hard to not have your mind wonder about
Everything else?
everything in there. You know, there's cameras
Right.
when you shit.
Yeah, anything. I've accidentally walked out naked, like,
I did that.
for
I
sure.
did that twice in the HOH, and just like was using the bathroom and walked out and just like dropped my boxers and got in the shower, and I was like, oh my god, I just, you know, and
so easy to forget in there. So easy.
Yeah. So we just wanted to say thank you to everybody for being there for us. The support really helps make it easier, and really.
I'll say.
There you go.
Thanks. This is my favorite part of anything is, at the end of the day, I'm really, truly grateful for everyone who really does have our back. Like, the messages are really, really kind and unprovoked. A lot of people are going out of their way to make sure that we're good, or to make sure that they know we have support, that we didn't do anything wrong, that this isn't our, I have to, as a woman who was raised Catholic and is Filipino, force myself to remember that I don't need to feel bad for anything, and that's the part that I'm fighting, is like me wanting to blame myself for whatever. But that's not productive, and that's also not true, and it's not fair to ourselves. So thank you to everyone for having our back so much. Tubina, Tubina stands are crazy, but so kind. Sorry.
It's okay.
But we're also crazy.
But so kind. Yeah. So we just figured we needed to say something because it's been blowing up, and we're gonna take whatever necessary steps, but it's going to be a day at a time thing. There still is more stuff we're figuring out. So, and
we're totally breaking up because this just ruined everything. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, that was that.
We're actually.
Yeah, no.
That's the point of this.
Okay, so then they just made jokes about it, and the live was a little longer, but that's essentially where they addressed the situation. And like Kira's saying here, yes, she did. It's not like this woman shared it with a bunch of friends, which is still not right, but she shared it with strangers in a group chat, like as like a show, like to show off and be like, oh, look what I have. Yeah, you have access to that because you're a part of the crew, and they trust you to keep that information and to not share it and not be creepy. So it does sound like they alluded to in that live, Rubina and Tucker, that there's possible actions they can take. So I don't know if they're working with CBS Paramount. So far, we haven't heard boo. We haven't heard a word from Big Brother production. You would think Julie Chen Moonves, with all the morals in the world, telling us to be kind to one another. Well, that's not very kind, Julie. So as the figurehead again for the show, I feel like we're the only country that I've seen with Big Brother. I mean, I've watched Australia, Canada, UK, where we don't have the kind of voice, the person that is, who you think of when you think of the show. We don't have them engaging like I wish they would, or saying anything, or condemning this behavior, or nothing. And they could be just, I don't know, getting their legal ducks in a row. I don't know. But I feel like we never get that. People are having these conversations. The house guests themselves are having the conversations. People online are the ones who outed this woman when they saw her hanging out with Tucker and Rubina, like they said. And so that, like Tucker said, it's a mixed blessing. At least now we know, I did invite her to my house. It's super creepy. But then that was the reason why people contacted us with the proof that this woman was in those group chats. So I really do wish, yes. And I thank you for reminding me. And there were allegedly minors in the group chat that you're sending this to. And this is a grown woman. It's just, It's gross. And again, where's Julie Chen? Where is Julie Chen? We should have a special episode of God 101, God 102, God 201 to maybe talk about this. How kindness is not taking intellectual property or video of people in intimate situations that doesn't belong to you and sharing it with strangers. That's not what we do. Yes, thank you guys for reminding me. And kids. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Ray Bay says, hopefully that person will never be able to work in the entertainment industry again. I'm gonna, well, I don't know. It's the entertainment industry. I'll be honest with you guys. You see, who knows? She'll probably come back reformed. So many people are able to work in that industry and after getting caught in things, and I don't know how. Liz said they shouldn't be allowed their phones during filming. Yeah. Maybe that could help. They're probably still shell-shocked. This is the craziest thing to happen in Big Brother, Joseph says. DGF says, we only have 84 likes. You guys have got 200 people watching. Make sure you hit that like. Rebecca says, it makes total sense that at least one of the random people in the group chat sent it to Hamster. Yes, because Hamster Watch said this video exists. And they tried to like gaslight Hamster and everyone else and say, no. It's just a picture of them in the DR together. And then sure enough, they start talking. Bright said, I've had to sign NDAs for companies. So my thoughts are to do what the PAs do for BB, they would have to sign a tight NDA. You would think that these big companies would protect themselves. So probably. Joseph says, if this was a male producer, would people give more of a damn? Maybe. Honestly, if it was a male producer, we talked about this, talking about Rubina's body. Maybe. Graphic says, where is she? Where did she go? Right, Julie? Your job's not over. And she loves Tucker. So maybe Julie will say something, but we never really get Julie commenting on the things. And if we do, it's always the wrong take. Like, how do you get it wrong every time, Julie Chen? I want Julie Chen back. Julie Chen Moonves just gets it wrong. Miss T says CBS needs better protocol. They definitely do, because whenever they're faced with, I should say Big Brother, because other shows, not necessarily, but I've only seen this with Big Brother for them, is whenever they are faced with any kind of scandal like this or things happening, they never know how to handle it, and it seems like they just don't handle it the right way. And it's frustrating year after year. Like, how many seasons of this show have we had? We just had the 26th season. We still are not figuring it out. And then, yes, Adam, always remember who, Julie's married to. So that's a great point that I actually forgot as I was talking. How did I ever forget? It is really hard for Julie to speak up about these kind of things when you're married to a whole ass predator, allegedly, being Les Moonves. So that's why she had to leave the talk, because she can't have an opinion about other people's lives or other people's affairs or other people's sexual harassment if your husband is allegedly one of those people that's doing that to many women who came forward in the business. When your husband steps down due to all these allegations. So, yep, that's it. Vicky says employees should not be able to have cell phones while on the job. It sucks because it's probably you're sitting there and, you want to have your phone. I get it. Everyone's like tied to their phones now. And it's, a lot of people do work from their phones, but if this stuff is going to happen, maybe not. DGF says me applying Aquaphor to my lips thanks to Rubina. She should definitely get a sponsorship with them. Yes, Anna. JCM, Julie Chen Moonves, famously sides with the harasser. Julie Chen never did that, but Julie Chen Moonves, she does that. Mm-hmm. She's like, let's see all the sides. Julie might be wagging her finger at them for getting busy to begin with. Yes, that's against the Bible. Joseph said this shows Tucker and Rubina how much we like Tucker and Rubina as people and want the best for them. Yes. Graphics says a show like this, definitely no phones if in the camera room. Yeah, if working on production and in front of all of those screens. I mean, I'm sure obviously this isn't probably the first time this has happened, but so far this has been in the modern seasons of Big Brother where I can think where it's been exposed that someone within production has taken video and sent it to a random group chat where kids are in allegedly, and just taken, video from their phone while two of the house guests are getting it on. So, hot topic of the moment is Big Brother 26, alleged creepy producer, sharing video and information about house guests and then befriending them, and they didn't know it was her. And people saw them hanging out and said, hey, this is the lady who has been creeping on you. A Canary says Julie Chen was the side piece for years for Les, allegedly. That's what people say. They say that their relationship might have stemmed from an affair. Miss T says if phones are needed, they should be from the company and monitored. Very smart, Miss T. And I feel like a big company like that, you would know that. And you would again, like Miss T is saying, have better protocol when it comes to this type of thing. Because having worked in corporate America before and for a long time, I mean, they watch you on this stuff. They don't want any of their stuff being shared. So that's what they said so far. They also didn't, Tucker usually will save his Instagram lives. They weren't saving this one. So again, this isn't something they want to talk about or talk to death. They just wanted to address it. Thank people for bringing it to their attention, letting them know we know now. And according to them, they're going to take the proper steps to whatever that may be. We'll see. But I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see if anything comes of this, if anything happens. But this woman definitely was outed on social media for this. And two of her, I showed it yesterday, her alleged ex-fiance and her alleged ex-roommate came forward saying not so great things about her. And that this is very on brand for her. Vicky says Jackson. Yeah, Jackson, Mickey, Taylor Hill, both were busy under the sheets and in the shower. And does this lady because she has been a part of Big Brother, I think, since 2022. That's what her IMDb said. So does she got video of Taylor? I mean, she wouldn't have video of Jackson because that was BB21. But does she have video of other people? And it was also being alleged that she was claiming in these group chats and to people that she did, that she was close to Taylor, similar to how she claimed to be close to Rubina. So, a mess, you guys. Speaking of a mess, remember a couple days ago, we talked about Brittany sitting down with Alex Baskin-Robbins, talking about the upcoming season of The Valley and exposing Jax for being a rage texter and just an overall dick, and talking about how when she hooked up with one of his friends after they had already split up, and we broke that down. Well, Jax is here to reply because, of course, Jax has to reply to this, because that's just so good for their little son to have them going, back and forth online and outing each other. So we're going to listen to some of this interview he did with Alex Baskin-Robbins, the executive producer of Vanderpump Rules. He might be an executive producer on The Valley too. I'm not sure. But he hosts this little hot mic, Bravo's Hot Mic podcast, where he talks to Bravo celebrities about their show, what's going on. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to react to Jax, which I'm sure is going to be so good. So good, Jax, because he's so insightful. He's such a gentleman. So I'm sure he has so much to offer. Let me do my rumors and nastiness so we know we're going to a new segment.
Where's Meredith Marks when I need her?
The rumors, the nastiness, the rumors, the nastiness. You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there.
Yeah. Oops, I didn't play the whole thing. You can leave. Oh, I cut it. Sorry, guys.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Always a good with a little drunken, or she not drunken, has a cold. Denise Richards, thank you. You're welcome. Christina Byington, thank you so much for the super chat. Says off topic. Have you heard that's just my baby dog? That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. I have. I'm obsessed. Also, I saw that Jessica's addressed the Lala situation. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. And yes, I have heard that song, and I used it on a video I did on Instagram. That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. Jessica, yes, formerly Lala's assistant. We can just hit on that briefly. We know that she left the podcast with Lala, which, we know Lala has, I forget what Lala's podcast is called. I'm not, I don't know if you guys are, I'm not particularly a fan of Lala's podcast, but I know she's a fan of mine. So thank you, Lala.
I heard actually mixed reviews on Jolene.
Oh, Joleen was excellent. What are they saying?
What are they saying? Joleen was, thank you, Lala. I am excellent. I appreciate you recognizing that. But they, Lala and her brother, White Boy Dread brother, said, Jessica left. She's leaving us. We wish her the best, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, it might have not ended the best because Jessica spoke out and said that she wished she could have said goodbye. She wished, it would have happened in, a better way. And so who knows what really went down? So far she hasn't, that I know of, given any specifics, but she was with Lala a long time. They're pretty close. Give them Lala. Is that the podcast? Okay. So, according to, the blogs, they're saying, former Give Them Lala co-host Jessica Walters addresses her abrupt exit. When things are abrupt after you've been with a company or a place for a long time, you're not ending on completely amicable, because you would have an episode like the Say Goodbye to Jessica episode. Thank you, Jessica, for all your hard work and for having to sit through this podcast and agree with me, even when I'm being ridiculously wrong, and thank you for helping to keep this echo chamber alive where I'm right as I shit on my friends and am a complete hypocrite. Allegedly. You'd think there would be something, but instead they're just like, she's gone. So Jessica is saying she wasn't given the opportunity to say goodbye to listeners, which is always shitty. So Jessica Walters, formerly with Lala, took to social media yesterday to comment on her recent and very unexpected exit from Lala Kent's Give Them Lala podcast, a week after Lala shocked fans by announcing that Jess was no longer working for her. I mean, this was like her right-hand man around her kids. You would think there would be a little more explanation. She was very immersed in Lala's life. So they said, she's not going to come back. So in a telling video posted on Instagram stories, Jessica posted on Instagram stories and made it clear that she was not in favor of the quick blink and you'll miss it send off that Lala gave her on the podcast. So this is according to the Ashley Roundup. The Ashley Roundup says, this was revealed last week that Jess wasn't going to be coming back. And then shortly after the podcast episode was released, fans began to take into social media to express their shock over Jess's exit. Because we know Lala, she will break up a friendship. That girl is just flippity floppity on the friends. 1 minute you're her best friend, the next minute she's selling you out for a 12th season of a show. Allegedly. That's what we see over here, Lala. And so people were like, what the hell happened? Something had to happen because it looked like this girl was like a part of your family. They remember seeing Jess on past seasons of the Bravo series. Remember when she was interviewed, Lala was still with Randall when they interviewed Jess. And then she became Lala's, one of her co-hosts in her entertaining podcast. And she even allegedly was in the room when Lala delivered her second daughter in September. Sosa. So on Wednesday, nearly a week after Lala announced the news to listeners, Jess posted a lengthy Instagram story addressing her exit from the podcast, while acknowledging the many fans who have been asking why she left Give Them Lala without saying goodbye, which is weird in itself. Before discussing why she wasn't on the episode to announce for herself that she was leaving, Jess mentioned the listeners she met and connected with over the years, calling them the brightest light and the most amazing people ever. I mean, one thing about this Jessica woman, she always seemed really positive. She was always upbeat. She was definitely there to listen and agree with Lala. And I'm sure that must have sucked. In my opinion, that would be, I couldn't do it. You're a better woman than me, because I would be like, girl, this is some bullshit. I can't believe this. So Jess said on her stories, of course, I would have said goodbye to you guys if I were given the opportunity. Of course, Jess said, I would want to say, you know how much I love and appreciate just connecting with all of you. So I'll say that now. Right now, on behalf of my position on the Give Them Lala podcast, goodbye. So she's saying this on her own Instagram story rather than on the podcast she was a co-host of for all these years. And I love every single one of you. I hope we stay connected. That's all I'll say for now. She might have signed an NDA. And as soon as maybe that's expired, maybe she'll be talking. We'll see. Jess ended her video by thanking listeners for making her life better and telling them how much she loves and appreciates them, including those who have reached out following the news that she was no longer a part of the Give 'Em Lala podcast. While Lala has yet to give her listeners an explanation for Jess's mysterious exit. Nor has she confirmed whether Jess was fired or if Jess decided to leave the podcast on her own. So fans are still, demanding some clarity. Many listeners have taken to the latest post of the podcast Instagram page to express their frustration over Jess's exit, with some claiming the Give Them Lala just isn't the same without Jess. Oh my goodness, let me share this screen, you guys. It's just, this is where Lala loses a lot of people, is just, she wants to act as though she is this, I'm transparent. I show my life. Ariana doesn't show her life, bitch. She wants to do the finger guns and be Lauren from Utah and just, but then, so you market yourself as that, and then you're the opposite of that. You're not being transparent. You're not, if you're really putting your life out there, you got to explain to you owe it to your audience. It's almost like a betrayal at this point when you do something like this, even for myself, eventually if I have someone on my show or something and they're like a regular co-host, it was kind of just the same thing with producer Tilly, my own cat. It's like, I owe it to you guys to be transparent about what happened. Tilly was a part of the show. She was a big deal. A lot of people were so sweet and kind and loved Tilly. So it's not like I'm going to go, oh, Tilly just decided not to be on the show anymore. I had to, you have to, I know it's a weird analogy, but it was, or if let's say I host the show with my husband, then my husband stopped. I have to give some kind of explanation. You can't just have a host of a show disappear. That's like, this is where you don't, if you want to be this person that connects with your fans and you want to build this brand, well, you're breaking your brand every time you don't stay on brand. Every time you go against, your viewers in that way, you don't respect them enough to tell them the truth. We get that you can't tell everybody every single detail of your life, but don't pretend to be, I'm so transparent, bitch. You don't know me. When you want to get popped and then be like, I'm not going to tell you. And then be all secretive. And that's the Lala we know. That's why when she was calling out Ariana, we're like, this chick don't get to call out Ariana. She is not transparent. How many seasons did we see this chick lying and hiding? No neck Randall. How many times did she was like, my man is so important. He doesn't need this stuff. But then you want us to be there for you and give you opportunities and clout and relevance when you break up with the man you thought was too good for us to know. Like you are peasants. Like that's what Lala never understood about this whole situation. No one was going to feel bad for her the same way we did Ariana, because you treated us like we were going to the lower level like Luann. You treated us like we were losers, and you had this big fancy boyfriend and you had to protect him, and we didn't deserve to know. He's not on this little ass show. Like that's how you were acting. So why would we give a fuck? Why do we care? We don't care. We don't care. We're not invested. You didn't want us invested. You only wanted us invested when you needed people to feel bad for you. When you wanted a team against Randall. We knew what Randall was the minute he walked on. The minute you showed it, we're like, Even before we saw him. BJ's for PJs. Married. You get arranged. We knew what he was. We weren't shocked. We're like, oh, he cheated on you just like you cheated with him. Cool. Yep. That's how it happens. Allegedly, And even then, we were still very, I feel like the audience itself was pretty kind to Lala. But then she just got weird with getting jealous and throwing Ariana under the bus. And it's like, no. So now, not surprising that we have another situation where she's not being transparent. She's putting it all out there. I'll put it out there. Look at me. I'm wearing a hockey jersey and a basketball jersey, bitch. Lauren from Utah. And then something happens and she's like, she just had to go. Well, what happened, Lauren? You have to tell us. Do you want your fans to believe in you? Do you want your audience to be invested and trust you? She's making it impossible. I don't know who would trust this woman now, but okay. So according to the AshleyRoundup.com, you can read this whole thing, but they were showing how fans of the Give Them Lala, which, hello, you should be very happy you have fans. Because that podcast is boring. No offense, all offense. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but it's boring. That is a boring podcast. It is very boring, allegedly. So fans are like, it's not the same without Jess. They're leaving comments, especially when we have no idea what happened. People invested in Jess. They care about her. You told us she was your number one. You had people care about her, and then you're just like, she's never coming back. Goodbye. What? People aren't going to trust you. You could just take that shit away. Why would we care about anything else? And then another person says, you have to address why Jess is not on the pod anymore. Another listener wrote, your pod has lost its heart and soul without a mention of why. At least your listeners deserve an answer, and they do. These people who show up and listen to that boring shit, they deserve this. They also deserve a medal. I mean, money, something. And maybe some coupons. And Jess deserves a proper exit with a standing ovation. Thank you. When you really value people who work for you and people who have helped you through your journey, you would send her off in a better way. So that leads us to believe something happened. Some bullshit went down. And where there's Lala, you'll find bullshit. That's what we've learned. I know I wanted to cheer for Lala. I was like, yes, Lala, get your life back. And I'm just like, no, No, this is who this woman is. This is a pattern of behavior. Like Ariana said, this is who this person is. So she didn't get the proper exit. People said she deserved it, and she did. Jess clearly did or said something that didn't fit the pod mentality, one listener speculated. It's clear in Jess's story that she's very hurt by her quick and sharp exit, considering she was considered family. That's true. And it'd be one thing if it was just your family, but you were monetizing this family member and you were monetizing this relationship. So now you got to speak on it. It's not personal. It's how you made money. So you got to talk about it. Some Give Them Lala listeners have even taken to Lala's personal Instagram page to share their frustration regarding the way Jess's exit was handled. They said, you're going to lose followers if you don't address the Jess of it all, one listener wrote. Another person put in all caps, where's Jess? You are a snake of epic proportions. Oh, Lala. A Canary, we know that she does get jealous of other women. We know that, just like Ramona says, you do not support women. You get jealous of them when they're your friends and they're getting opportunities. And rather than supporting them and riding with them and opportunities will come for you, you try to push them down because you're like, I got to get mine. I got to get mine. You got to get popped. Ugh, just women like this are beyond frustrating. And they're right. You're going to lose followers. And they're saying you're a snake, Lala. Lala has yet to respond to Jess's recent comments. Watch a clip from Jess's. Let's see if we can watch it here. Poor Jess. All that work and what did it get me? Do it. Okay. So let's share this and listen to Dear Jessica. Dear Jessica, we're so sorry that Lala is like this. Okay.
Without saying goodbye. I've been on it for 3 years. I've connected with so many of you.
3 years.
Give Them all podcast listeners, whether or not it was through DMs or we met on the road during the live show or during the tour or at BravoCon, and every single one of you has been the bright that I've met in person has been the brightest light, the sweetest, amazing people ever. So of course, I would have said goodbye to you guys if I were given the opportunity, of course. And I would want to say, you know, how much I love and appreciate just the connecting with all of you. So I'll say that now. Right now, on behalf of my position on the Give Them Lala podcast, goodbye. And I love every single one.
This is so dumb.
I hope we stay connected. That is all I will say for now. Thanks for making, thanks for making my life better.
Oh,
I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You can definitely tell that she's upset. I mean, it's pretty clear. Shout out to Vanderpump Rules Party for this clip here. But you can tell that there's like feelings behind that. Oh my gosh. Lala, what are you doing? What are you doing? Thank you, Silly Goose. Thank you, Chumbawamba. Appreciate you guys. But this is just bad business. You want to know why you're not as successful as Ariana? Because stuff like this. This is why. The reputation you are building for yourself, not good. It's not good. And it's unnecessary. It's not. It just doesn't have to be like this. So now you're just leaving people to speculate, which is maybe what you want because you think people will tune in. But it's shitty that you have someone who is in your life for this long. And if she did something, let the people know. Or if there was some kind of, a disagreement, you can even hint at it, something. But even Jessica herself here is like, I would have loved to say goodbye. I would have loved to. Care Bear says $10 says blah, blah, will turn off her comments. Yes. Well, we know Lala is not good when it comes to responding to criticism. Remember how she thought she was going to be killing it at the reunion? How she turned on Ariana. It was simping for the Toms. And we're like, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what do you stand for? What are your values? And then she took to her podcast and turned on her fans, turned on fans of the show. Her and her brother calling us rabies bitches. So, I mean, this is a good deal for Jessica to get out. But then she's like, I'm only going to talk about this once. And then I'm done.
The finale episode of Vanderpump aired last night. Did anyone watch it? Did they show my purge?
I was unaware. I was supposed to be watching Vanderpump.
Don't worry, I didn't watch either.
Okay, okay. We will be watching though because yes, we'll
that's why I just asked. Do I have to watch this,
No,
or can I just freeball it when we're talking about it?
no, because I'm not going to talk. I'm not addressing any VPR
Beautiful.
news
Don't wanna watch
until
any of-
third
so I
part of the reunion, and it's
Beautiful.
going to be very quick. You guys don't need to weigh in. I don't want questions. I'm going to say my piece. We're going to move on, and I never want to discuss season 11 again. And I hope by that time everyone gets their fucking rabies shots because they're foaming at the mouth. These fucking bitches in these streets on socials. I'm like, yo.
Amen, amen. We got
I'm tired.
what?
I said they make me tired. The rabies bitches.
Oh,
Okay, so
And I'm like, yo, Lala. But I thought you're Miss Transparent. You're Miss Call It Out. Talk about it. But then when there's a little pushback on you, you're like, and I never want to talk about it again. Interesting. Any kind of resistance and you crumble and you blame everyone else. You looked dumb this past season. You looked like a sellout. And for what? Because you're trying to collect some peace? Well, clearly it's not peaceful because now you have this family member you claim, Jessica, who just left the podcast abruptly, no explanation. And she said she wanted to give an explanation. And it sounds like, according to her, you didn't allow her to. Oh, thank you, Liz, for the super sticker. Yes, Carissa, she folds like a lawn chair. All these people that talk tough, it's the talk tough. It's just tough guy talk, as Spike from Buffy the Vampire says. It's tough guy talk. Okay, these guys who want to end the world, it's just tough guy talk. That's what Lala has. She's got tough guy talk. But she's not a tough guy. And she doesn't stand on what she says. She's quick to go boom, 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 boom. And then when people push back or question it, she's like, oh, you're bullying me. You have rabies. It's so annoying. So annoying. And your brother's kind of creepy. No offense, all offense. Calling us rabies bitches. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Says I miss Tilly. I remember her sitting at her desk, just working her tail. She worked so hard, producer Tilly. The hardest working producer I've ever had, will ever have. I mean, my producers in training, Cordelia and Prince, I love them. But where are they? They're taking another day off. Producer Tilly was like she didn't take days off, you know. She deserved an Emmy. She really did. Yeah, she tries to be hard. She tries to be like, I'm Lauren, I'm from the, it's like, girl, please stop. Please stop, Lauren. Okay. So thank you, Christina, for the reminder of the Lala news. And now we'll get back to the Vanderpump, another infuriating person, Jax Taylor, with zero self-awareness. They seem to be drawn to these shows, these people who just have no self-awareness at all. Okay. You can't be the big tough guy talk. And then when you get called out, all of a sudden it's like, oh, give it a yawn. Give me a yawn. All right. Back to Jax on Bravo's Hot Mic with Alex Baskin-Robbins. Let me just fast forward a bit. We're going to speed it up to like 1.1, just a little bit.
Capable of changing. What do you say to that?
That's her opinion. I've never been on medication in my entire life.
Again, there's some skepticism when you talk about changing.
Yeah.
Because you've said that before,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the same things have happened over and over again. And Brittany doesn't think that you're necessarily capable of changing. What do you say to that?
That's her opinion. I've never been on medication in my entire life until I went through the facility. So I think this is playing a huge role. I was very stubborn. I didn't get help. This is the first time I've gotten help. This is the first time I went and had an outreach. Yeah, she's upset. She's upset. She's going to hit below the belt. She's say things I'm not going to change. She's going to say this and that because she's hurt, and she has every right to be. You know, I as you'll see in the season, of the Valley, people are probably going to come after me. I was in a really dark place. I did some really awful things. And what I mean by awful things is I was verbally abusive. And, you know, and it wasn't necessarily about Brittany itself. I would compartmentalize my problems during the day. If something was going on, or something angered me with my family or my friends, or if I just went to the grocery store and somebody pissed me off, I would compartmentalize it. And then unfortunately I would go home and my wife was the one that would be, you know, in the line of fire, and I would just take it out on her. I would find something to set me off and take it out on her.
Yeah, that's how abusers usually work. What does he think? He's sharing some great secret with us? So you're a verbally abusive asshole who takes out all your frustration on your wife. You're not reinventing the abusive wheel. Like you're just a standard asshole abuser. I don't. Jax is like, it's infuriating. Listen to him because he thinks he's like doing something great. It's like, yeah, that we know how you assholes work. Yep, we know. And the fact that you're just saying it so calmly, like, hey, that's how it was. And it had nothing to do with her. Oh, well, yay. It wasn't you, bitch. Don't worry. It wasn't. You're not as bad as I call you. I mean, what does he want? A medal? What do you want? A cookie? It wasn't about her. Yeah, we know it's about you. It's always about the abusive assholes when they're abusive. It's never about the person. They didn't do nothing wrong. It's you. Hi, you're the problem. It's you.
Which was so wrong. It hurts me that she says that because, you know, I would hope that she'd be like, you know, I will always love him and I want him to change. I would hope she would say that, you know, just for my own thing. I've been married to her for a long time, and I would just hope that after this many years that she would say that, you know, she would at least say he's a good father, and I hope he changes down the road, not be so negative.
Sorry, guys. Why would this man think that Brittany owes him any of that to say that? You're admitting that you were abusive to her. And now you're like, I wish she'd say, I hope he changes. Of course she hopes you change, but she doesn't owe you shit. You dumbass. Like, it just is. I just really wish that she could just see my side of my abuse. What an asswipe. Okay. Did I get back to the Jax one? All right, here he is. Got myself all in a tizzy. I hit the skip. But I love how he's like, but you know, what really hurt me, not the fact that I was abusive to her, but the fact that she's not rooting for her abusive ex. That's what really hurts. Sir, get some help and some real help. Okay. And I have ENT issues too. I've had deviated septum, collapsed valves, surgeries and things, but your shit always be clogged. What did you put up there? Allegedly, again, for entertainment purposes only. Who knows? But why? What's happening?
And she has every right to be. You know, I compartmentalize my problems during the day. My wife was the one that would be, you know, in the line of fire, and I would just take it out on her. I would find something to set me off and take it out on her, which was
What a man. What a man. I would just find something to set me off in the real world, and I couldn't confront those issues within myself or my fragility. So I just took it out on the woman who birthed the baby for me. Yep. The woman closest to me who allegedly loved me.
So wrong. It hurts me that she says that because,
Who
I would hope
cares?
that she'd be like, I will always love him and I want him to change.
Why should she? This is not a Whitney Houston song or Dolly Parton. And I will always hate you. I would hate you if you did this shit to me. She doesn't owe you her love. You couldn't even respect her and not be abusive.
I would hope she would say that, just for my own thing.
For your own thing. Good. Jeez. Holy narcissism.
We've been married to her for a long time. And I would just hope that after this many years, that she would say that, she would at least say he's a good father. And I hope he changes down the road, not be so negative.
I just wish the woman I used to abuse wouldn't be so negative about me. I mean, geez. I mean, what an insufferable bitch that she just, is so negative about someone who was verbally abusive to her and admits to being verbally abusive. I mean, get it together, Brittany.
Understand that.
Well, I think that she hopes that you'll change. I think she just isn't convinced that it's going to happen.
Alex Baskin Robbins, don't try to even explain it to him. He's not going to get it. He's like 87 years old. It's too late.
Happen. And I think that's, sort of where time will come into play.
Yeah, I think she really wants to see me fail.
Yep, I do too. I'll be honest, I do too. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. When you act like that, you abuse women. Sure. I mean, you're doing a good job on your own. You're already failing. So sure, add another one to the list. Hi.
You think so? I think so. I think she wants to see me.
Now he's the victim. I think they want to see me fail. Sir, pick yourself up. Blow your nose. Fix your life.
Fail. I think she wants to prove everyone right. And to be honest, I've done nothing wrong since I've been out. I've been overly nice to her. I've actually been nice.
Whoa. This women, future women, watch this interview. All the red flags. After I was abusive to her for a long time, but recently I've been overly nice to her. Again, what do you want? A medal? A cookie? A pat on the back?
Nice to her more now than I was to when I was married. I go out of my way for her.
Yep, you should just do that. You don't get a prize for that. You don't get an attaboy for that when you're an abusive asshole. You should be learning how to be a functioning human who doesn't have to abuse others and can process their own shit.
And there's some, which is weird. She says all these negative things about me, but yet she'll call me like 2 days ago. Come over. You want to have some drinks? Come over. You want to hook up? Like, she'll go out and publicly humiliate me and call me every name in the book.
Sir, excuse me. Knock, knock. Hi, it's Joleen. You already humiliate yourself. She does not have, I've never seen the time Brittany humiliate you. You just existing and being who you are, like right here. This is humiliating. This is humiliating, right? This is cuckoo. This is cuckoo bananas. This is Tom Sandoval level delusion, gaslighting, all the things. Blind leading the blind. No offense, all offense. Oh my gosh. Patty says, I'm not defending Jax, but come on. Brittany knew exactly he was like this when she married him. Oh, no one is saying she didn't, but Brittany is not the abuser in this situation. A lot of people, I do think Brittany's got some thirsty thirst, but that still doesn't mean she deserves to be verbally abused or treated shitty. Just because she might be someone who's thirsty to be on television, I'm never going to agree that a woman like, well, you should have seen it coming. I do think, his overall attitude, yeah, you kind of knew, but I don't know if she could fully see how much this was going to, once the abuser starts admitting abuse, then I'm like, oh shit. I don't think anyone would choose that. But I understand the criticism with Brittany. I have my own criticisms with Brittany. But still, now that he's like admitting he's an abusive asshole, I'm like, okay.
Book. But 3 days ago, she's like, hey, you want to come over and have dinner? You want to come over and have drinks? Don't tell anybody that I'm doing this. So people don't know that. She talks all this shit, but then, she'll be like, come over, come and hang out, come on this. So I don't mean to blow her.
Come over, come on this, he said. I don't mean to blow her cover. Yeah, you do mean to blow her cover. You do mean to put this out there. Do I believe that Brittany's doing that? Yeah, I kind of do. I do. I think that there is a history there. I think she wouldn't be the first woman to still give it up to her problematic ex or whatever. She won't, unfortunately, be the last. So I do think she's doing that. Do I wish she wouldn't? Yeah. And him outing this, if you were really getting well, Jax, you would just admit, I was an asshole. I was an abusive asshole. and I'm sorry. And Brittany has every right to have her feelings about me. And I just hope that in the future, my actions and things, I can, show her that I've changed and I can finally give her the respect she's deserved this entire relationship. That would be like a man's response to this. But instead, he's like, well, if I'm so bad, how come she still wants to touch my dick? Because sometimes people still touch poisonous dicks. I don't know. It's one of those things. Sometimes even the most poisonous of dicks get touched. That's life. But that doesn't absolve you from all your bad behavior. And sometimes maybe whatever you've said to her, there can be a level of emotional abuse where she thinks she needs that and she needs you. There can be a lot of layers to this. So for him to be like, I'm not that bad. She wants to have sex with me. You know how many women can name, like, people have been like, that one definitely didn't deserve it. That doesn't mean you're a good person. Sometimes you just, a poison wiener gets in your way.
Cover, but I'm not all that bad. She wouldn't be calling me over. She wouldn't be saying, hey, let's go to the pump.
Yeah, she would. Yeah, she would. Everybody's got somebody in their past. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people do. Or they're like, oh, God, I should have just stopped doing that.
Patch with Cruz. Let's go to Disney with Cruz. Let's take Cruz together to school.
Because that's her son. She's trying to have a co-parenting relationship. So she wants to go to the pumpkin patch with me. Clearly, I'm a great guy.
Well, if I was that bad of a human being, do you think she would do all this?
Why do you think that when you say that she doesn't want you to change? Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think I hurt her bad. I think I've over the years, I've really worn on her. And I think I put such a bad taste in her mouth. And I think the fact that I've decided not to work on the marriage, I think that was a huge blow to her because I think she thought I was going to work on the marriage. And I think she was kind of a little bit shocked by that.
So you think that, in other words, that if you end up in a good place, and
I will end up in a good place.
Yeah. And so if you put in the work.
No, you won't. And I will end up in a good. Okay. Define good. Oh my God. This guy.
Yeah.
And things are headed in the right direction,
right.
Then that somehow reflects on her or just upsets her because it's easier just for you to be the asshole.
It's easier for me to be the asshole. It's expected for me to fuck up.
Because that's what you do. It's a pattern of behavior. It's who this person is. That's who you've shown us to be. Ariana said that quote about Jax all those years ago. This is who this person is. This is a pattern of behavior. You're not a victim of this. This isn't people expecting you to play a role. This is literally who you are, dude. You suck. You literally suck. Every time we've watched you in a relationship and you make money off of being on TV and sharing this, you share yourself and how you behave, and it's atrocious. So what? Of course, people are going to expect that. That's all you've shown us. Is there anything else? You tried for like a millisecond to be different. And it just, we knew you weren't. We knew that you were just trying to get back, on TV or in good graces and kind of, exploit the Scandival situation. Like you were pro woman and calling out Tom when really you are Tom. You're just as bad. We've known that.
It's expected for me to go back to my old ways. So, it gives me more.
Old ways, sir. We are headed in a direction where you are now old. So we got to learn.
Or drive now to prove everybody wrong, to prove that it wasn't a waste of time for me to go to the facility, that it wasn't a waste of time for me.
So you're just here to prove people wrong, not to actually get better for yourself, for your son, so you can co-parent, just to prove all these people you don't even know, wrong. So out of spite, that therapy worked in that facility.
For me to get help, trying to be an advocate for mental health.
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna, why do these assholes, we don't need you to be an advocate for mental health. You need to just get some mental health. You need to get healthy mental. How are you going to advocate for something you're not even successful in doing? How are you going to advocate for? We don't need you. You just want to monetize off this and be like, I'm a mental health advocate. We have people doing that. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Jax who suddenly is like, I might need therapy after 60 years and then goes to a facility to come out and be like, I'm going to heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are dicks that aren't getting licked upon by women, and I want to make sure they get some love. Like, what are you? No, stop. Boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato. No one wants you to be a mental health advocate. You don't even know what that means. You just got diagnosed, bro, like a month ago. You guys. Yes, him and Rachel should do a podcast like ALS is saying, mental health advocate Rachel. So it's the same thing with Rachel. I just want to tell everybody, like Lala, that I know a lot. I learned the gaslighting word, and so did Jack. So we're here today to talk to you guys about mental health and how to blame everyone else for your mistakes, your actions. Thank you. We're sponsored by Zoloft. Yeah. I don't take it because it will make me gain weight, but yeah. I just, you guys, it never ceases to amaze me that these people think that we're just sitting at home going, you know what? I hope that really freaking toxic guy from Vanderpump Rules and now the Valley advocates for mental health. You just are like, yeah, I'm abusive. And then in the next breath, you're like, well, I mean, I've been nice to her lately. No. Thank you. No, Top 37 gifted a membership to the channel. Congrats to those whoever won the gifted membership. Enjoy the content, the emojis, and all the things. Freaking dumbass. That's all I can say. This guy, I really want to be a mental. No, advocate for yourself. If you can't advocate for yourself and fix yourself, you can't advocate for anybody else. Do you believe the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Now to prove everybody wrong. To prove
I just want to prove everybody wrong. Just out of spite.
that it wasn't a waste of time for me to go to the facility. That it wasn't a waste of time for me to get help.
It was.
You know, trying to be an advocate for mental health. I don't want people to be like, he's full of shit, you know? So I'm working really.
He just wants to be an influencer. Hi, I'm Jax Taylor. I'm abusive and I'm not changing it. But try some Zoloft. Use my code JackSucks red flag for 15% off now. Try it. I don't. Like, what are you gonna try to sell journals? Like, what? No, he thinks he can make money off this. This dude, this is so on brand, but still so disgusting. Stop it.
Really hard on myself, and I'm working really hard just to, you know, to make the right decisions. And unfortunately, you know,
are you working hard on yourself when you're partying in Canada with Johnny Fairplay? When it's snowing allegedly. Is that where you're working hard?
Everybody's different. Everybody has their demons, and you know,
not like yours.
I've just made some really fucked up decisions
over and over and over and over and over again
in the past, and you know, but I'm trying.
Give us a couple examples. Give me a list of 5 things you did to try, and not I was nice to Brittany. What else?
What is it like co-parenting when
Alex Baskin Robbins? Why don't you push back on any of this shit? I would be on it. I'd be like, what the, sir? Why even interview him if there's no pushback? We don't get any follow-up questions. Now it's like, what's it like co-parenting? What do you think, Baskin Robbins? Horrible, shitty, depressing, not good, not well, bitch. Like Dorinda would say.
You guys are not getting along personally?
You know, it's been fine up until now. And I know not to break into this, the divorce, but people were coming after me because I didn't get a lawyer in the beginning. And it's not that I didn't want to get a lawyer. I was just trying to give Brittany what she wanted. And
right, just Kelly.
She told me right off the bat, yes, these are the things I want, full custody and all this. She's like, but you're going to see Cruz every day. I'm just saying this because, you know, I'm protecting myself. You know, I'm his mother, but she's like, you know, you're a great father. You're going to see him all the time. So I figured, okay, I'm not going to fight her on this. There's no reason to fight. I don't, you know, and I thought, okay, I'd get him on the weekends and every Wednesday. I thought that was a pretty fair deal. I think people just thought I was giving up.
Right. Because just
that's not the case at all.
And you would never do that.
I would never in a million years do that. And we had
well, there's Alex, and you would never do that. We don't know that, Alex Baskin Robbins. We don't know that. Why are you Captain Save a Toxic Broho? Every freaking time, Alex.
One-on-one talk about it. She's like, you know, I would never do that. I just protecting myself and that, you know, I have the final say. The only thing I have a problem with, and all this is what we've talked about, is medical. I want to be involved in the medical, and I want to be involved in his medical schooling. So other than that, you know, that's his mother. I want him to be in the house that he grew up in. And right now we're kind of going back and forth because we both have busy schedules with different things. So, right now it's, hey, can you take him tomorrow? Can you do this tomorrow? It's just been back and forth, which I knew it was going to be.
Right.
I knew it was going to be like that. She's not going to want to hire a nanny every day. That's expensive, especially when I'm right down the road and I'm by myself and I'm constantly calling her every day. What do you need me to do tomorrow? What do you need? Can I grab him tomorrow? Let me take him for a couple hours to give you a break.
Oh, wow. How great, father of the child. Let me take him. Let me give you a little break. Should I babysit? Should I babysit my own son? Let me take him for a couple hours. And then I'm busy.
Because he's a lot.
Hello, Cruz just catching strays over here. He's a lot. He's a kid. He's like a toddler. What are you talking about? How old is he? 4, 5, 6? What are you talking about? He's a lot. You're a lot. You're a lot. That kid is way more calm, collected, and together than you are. You're a lot. You're a lot of not good stuff. He's a lot. Ew. Not only is all this stuff on display for their son to see later, but then he's going to throw in he's a lot. You're a lot. You're a lot of grossa.
So. It was one of the reasons that you wanted to take that place too, was that it was right down the road. So
I was right. Yeah, it was literally. It's literally a mile down the road. Yeah. I can be there in 5 minutes.
Does Schwartz help with Cruz?
What? What are they dating? What is he, the stepmom? What does Schwartz help with Cruz? What do you want to know? Are you dating? What? Why would you ask? What does Schwartz have to do with Cruz and Brittany? Does Schwartz what? Right, silly goose? That's Jack's like, I'm a hero. I take care of my own kid. Katie says he's going to give her a break by babysitting his own kid. Yeah, that's what he means. That's what he means. Does Schwartz help? You mean Tom Schwartz? His friend? Why just throw randomly? Does Tom Schwartz help? Alex, oh my God, you are obsessed with the Toms. No wonder he tried to give them that stellar edit.
In all honesty, Cruz hasn't been to my house yet. He's got.
Does Schwartz live with him? That was so weird. And Cruz hasn't been to your house. Okay, so
a beautiful room all set up. His bed, his toys are all in there.
And so is Tom Schwartz allegedly living in Cruz's room.
Brittany is just not ready for me to have him at the house yet, which is understandable.
I don't blame her.
But like I said, I think it's going to happen soon because it's a lot of work for her to deal with Cruz full time
on her own. Yeah.
And I'm here. I'm like, hey, let me take.
I'm here. I need a hero. I'm the dad just doing dad things and wanting a lot of credit, sir. Oh my God. Look, Alex. Yeah, Jax.
Take him for the weekend. Let me give
you a woman working on this damn show.
Mentally, it's got to be tough to be a single mom and work and do everything.
Mentally, it's got to be tough. Let me help you. You're the father. That's your job.
You got to do. So I think eventually, she's gonna come around because I've taken pictures of Cruz's room and shown her, and I said, hey, listen, I'll put some cameras in the house that you can see. If
she said that you had an agreement that you wouldn't be hooking up in your shared house that you share with your son, your family home, and you still breached that multiple times. So yeah, I don't blame her. She doesn't want to send her son over to the home equivalent of the BB-26 Joseph Spiz tent. We don't know how you clean your surfaces. We know what you probably do on your surfaces, and we don't need a child in that germ infestation of nasty hookups.
It makes you feel more comfortable. Whatever it is that you want, I'll do. Like
he wants cameras.
I'm very whatever what she wants. I'm very easy. I just want.
Yeah, that's what everyone would explain, Jack. So easygoing, easy like no, you're easy, like you're hoary, but you're not. Like an easygoing person.
To make it easy for her, but the more easy I make it for her, the harder she makes it for me. I feel like she's not expecting this from me. I feel like she wants a fight. I feel like she really wants me to argue. She wants me to, so she can be like, see. I feel like that's what she's looking for. And the fact that I'm not arguing or just kind of walking away, which I never used to do.
Is this walking away though? Outing her? If you were just walking away, you just would have let her do her little interview and respond, and you would have said, you know what? That's the mother of my children. She has every right to be upset right now, but I respect her and I respect her feelings, and I hope one day we'll get to a place where we're just co-parenting very successfully. And, Cruz is my main priority, and I'm not going to speak bad of his mom. But no, you got to go and you got to get your digs in on her. Ugh.
They have to have the last word. I used to have to yell and scream.
This is what you're literally doing an interview after her interview to get the last word. How do you not see this? You're still trying to get the last word. Does he think we're going to just believe him? Does he think we're stupid?
I think the fact now that I wash my hands of it, or if she gets angry, I just say, okay, whatever.
No, you've been here for now 7 minutes and 28 seconds talking shit on her.
I think it's bothering her a little bit because she's not used to that. And I think
she's trying to manipulate us and also her through this interview, the way he's probably been successful in manipulating her in the past.
She does see change. I think she really does.
She said she doesn't. The woman literally just sat down with Alex Baskin-Robbins and said, "You haven't changed." And you're like, no, she does. She doesn't know it yet. You're mansplaining, changing the narrative of what she said out of her mouth. She was like, bear cheese, and then you're like, no. She said wine cheese. We're like, no, I'm pretty sure she said beer cheese. He's like, no, but I know what she really thinks.
But I don't think she wants to admit it.
It's all really fresh.
Oh, God.
It is very fresh. And we're still trying to figure it out. Like,
yeah.
It's the ink's not even near dry on the papers yet. We're right in the middle of this divorce right now, right in the middle. And unfortunately, this process takes up to 6 to 8 months to go through. I have a buddy of mine who's on the show as well, Jesse, who's going through the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alex knows who he is.
And his is a lot worse than mine.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're fighting over the nickel and diming over little things here and there. And they butt heads on certain things.
Sounds like you're butting heads too. Why are you bringing someone else's and comparing it?
It's tough. It's really, really tough. I see him going through it, and
I feel so bad for these guys.
I just hope I don't get to that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's too late. You're already there. You're the OG of that point.
I definitely hope that for your sake too. Your marriages were very different in the first place.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
It's you and Brittany splitting up was sad because.
No, it wasn't. It was expected since day one, like Lala and Randall.
That was a loving marriage. And
what? Alex Baskin-Robbins. Did you just say Jax and Brittany were a loving marriage? Full of respect, mutual respect for one another. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Jesse and Michelle breaking up was news to anyone.
Right. You're right.
Well, it wasn't news that Jax and Brittany. We were just like, oh, she finally woke up.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew them personally. I didn't see that lasting very much. I think in that marriage, he was a different person.
Are we trying to make Jax and Brittany like Tom and Ariana or something? Like, I was genuinely shocked when that all came out with Rachel Raquel. I was like, holy shit, I had no idea. It seemed like Tom really loved her and she loved him. And like, I wouldn't guess that. But with Jax and Brittany, it's a joke. Like, it's unfortunate because now they have a kid. So it's like, you wish the best for the kid in this situation. But the relationship was always, everyone was like, no. And Alex is like, that was a very loving relationship. What?
He was just, he's a hard-headed, he's from Boston, he's just one of those guys, but
just boys will be boys. He's just a hard-headed, just like me. Okay. These bitches are crazy and we just try our best.
He's a lot different now. He's got a new girlfriend and I think she brings out the best in him.
Yes, because it's the woman who is the defining factor of how a man would act. If you got a good woman, you'll be a good man. No, you just be a good man and then you deserve a good woman. But you trash bags.
She's a really lovely young lady, and I like her a lot.
He's probably gonna try to hump her. Did you try to hump her yet, Jax?
And she works with mental health.
He said, I like her a lot. Jesse, girlfriend of Jesse, be careful. He's coming.
He's a lot different now. He's got a new girlfriend, and I think she brings out the best in him. She's a really lovely young lady, and I like her a lot. And she works with mental health too. And I think she's really changed him. I see a really vulnerable side to him. And I don't know if it's the divorce. I don't know if it's his daughter. I don't know if it's.
This is why I didn't trust him when everyone was like, I think Jax is different during Scandival when he was like doing interviews and stuff and pretending to stick up for Ariana. It was because he was putting all the onus, all of it on Brittany and saying, Brittany made me a better man. No, dude, you're old. Okay. And you're a grown up. And you need to fix yourself. It's not up to women to fix men. We're not here to save you. You fix yourself. So the fact that he was doing it, and Brittany's like, yeah, beer cheese. And I'm like, no, this is giving all the wrong messages that these men are just like fixer-uppers and we have to spend our lives, fixing their shit. No, encourage men from little itty bitties to get your shit together before you're not going to, once he finds a good woman, that'll calm him down. No, calm down first. Calm down first. I hate that narrative. I hate it.
It's this new girl, but whatever it is, he's a completely different human being. And I really like this new Jesse. I know the divorce is really wearing on him. Like he calls me, and it just cries and just like,
I'm just outing Jesse. And he cries. Let me show you some of our private text messages. Here, he tells me a family secret he's never told anyone before. Here, he tells me another secret. I mean, this guy, why is he even talking about Jesse's relationship?
You know, you never, I've seen the strongest men in the world, the manliest men
You don't know one strong man. I don't think Jex knows a strong man.
just crumble during divorce.
Nope.
It just breaks guys.
Oh, just breaks guys. Poor men. Men first. Menstruation. What are you doing? What are we doing here? What is happening? We literally have this man talking about how he abused his wife, and now he's like, oh, it just crushes poor men. Oh, it just crushes us.
It just breaks them.
Yeah. Well,
Strong
like you said, I mean,
men,
it's one of the
too.
ultimate stresses
Strong men.
in life, and
It
it
is.
is akin to a death.
It's like I said, the hardest thing in my life was my father's death. And now, like I said, this is right under that.
There's no way. You acted like you hated Brittany. You disrespected her every chance you got, and now you're like, oh, yeah. Alex Baskin's like, it's like a death. Not to Jax. He buried Brittany a long time ago. She just kept digging herself up out of the grave like, Jax, bear chase. And we're like, Brittany, stay down. Stay down. And then crawl up through another grave and find someone better. She's like, bear chase.
Has your mother met Cruz at this point?
No, and I haven't really spoken to my mother. I think she got wind of, I think like everybody else through the tabloids. She reached out to me while I was in the facility. She checked in on me every day. I've tried to reach out to her a couple times. She's very vague with me. I sent her pictures of Cruz. I do want her to meet him. I think at some point, I would regret it down the line if my son says, hey, why don't you try to work it out with your mom? Or
his poor mom. He is always talking about this, but not talking to her.
How come I could have never met her? I think I would, never forgive myself. And, it's hard to hold grudges. It's hard to be.
You seem to have held it pretty long. Do you see how you always have issues with women? Whether it's the woman that gave you birth, the woman you're married to, a woman you're dating, like you always, do you see that you're the common denominator? You're the problem?
Be angry and mean. It's a lot easier to forgive.
Let go.
Because we're not here for a long time, and yeah, I don't agree with what she did, but life goes on. And I feel like I don't need to be in the best relationship with my mother, but I would like to have a sit down with her. And we did talk about it the last week of in my facility of meeting, and she agreed to it. So I'm going to go to Florida and meet her one-on-one, and then eventually bring my son over.
Bring the
my conversation with Jax Taylor.
Bring the cameras, probably. I'm going to go see her. I don't like to hold grudges, but I haven't talked to her in years. I don't like to hold grudges, but here I am shitting on Brittany. It's just like this dude, Bravo. They sure know how to find the toxic men. They really, and then they amplify their voices. They try to save them with these little interviews, and it's just crazy. And like you guys are saying in the chat, like, we see you, Jax, trying to soften people up to the men of the valley for season 2. No, we're smart. We will make our own decisions. Oh my gosh. Lisa says, if this is the mind of a man, this might be my awakening. I mean, according to Jackson, his new podcast, The Mind of a Man, this is what's in men's minds. If I was a man, I would be insulted that Jax would put me in the same category as him. But yes, they champion men like this. They really do. And that's why we got to be here to roast them. We got to even it out. We have to, we need a place to let it out and tell the truth about these people, because this is ridiculous. Pamela says, he said that she was calling him, asking him to come over. Yeah, right. Like, I do kind of believe that him and Brittany would still hook up. I do. Yeah. Do all the clicks give him money for booger sugar? I don't know. I mean, no matter what, he's making Bravo money. So I'm sure, I mean, obviously Bravo is funding alleged booger sugar. Yes, even his mom. There was something that went down when his dad's passing, and he's been talking about it on podcasts, and he won't talk to her. It's just a mess. it's a mess. Carissa says, I don't understand the straights at this point. We don't understand ourselves. All right. Shine says he's the reason women are turning bi, or they're doing that. What's something where women are like abstaining from hooking up with men for the next 4 years. And there's like a 4B or something movement. I forget what it's called, but I think Jax Taylor is probably the reason for that. They want to say it's other reasons, but I think it's exposure to men like this for long periods of time will make anyone go, I'll just take myself in a vibrator for 500, Alex. That's good. I'm good. I don't need all this mess. Okay. They make little machines that work just fine. All right. And my mind, I have a mind. Silly Goose says he cries. He always cried. Yes. You guys, ridiculous. The 4Bs, is that what it's called? 4B, the 4B movement. Okay. Thank you, Red Wolf. Miss Diamond says like number 137 over here. Yes, hit that like. Let's get to 200, you guys. Madeline says, good old Jax. He never shuts up. He never gets better. Nope. And he still acts like he's like 22 years old. Like, well, I mean, what's the guy to do? I try my best. You're not trying hard enough because you're rounding the corner on 50 and we're still doing the same things, which means you're not trying. And instead of actually working on yourself and taking accountability, you want to be a mental health advocate and be like a mental health influencer when you haven't even gotten the mental health. Yeah. He's why women choose the bear. He's one of the many reasons why women will always choose the bear. Lisa says, can you imagine having a child and it turns into Jax? Oh my God. Justice for his mom's baby door. Justice for her. Jenkins says, it's lesbian winter with men out there like that for real. Does he represent California men? Some of them, I guess. Not all, but some. Johnny J is like Johnny J Jansen. Johnny Jansen. Yep. Some mental health advocate Osflager says, so let's remember that most grow, learn, and advance in life. Yeah. Jax isn't one of those men who's going to grow, learn, and advance in life. And it's because he just has the thirst to immediately profit off and exploit what's happening in his life, because that's all he knows how to do, how to make money, is to exploit it and monetize it rather than actually focusing on yourself. He immediately wants to go on an interview or, on a show and talk about it. And it's like, sir, you got to heal yourself. You gotta heal yourself. And he's also 58 years old. Hashtag pray for Jax's mom. Oh, that poor woman, that poor sweet woman. We're thinking of you, Jax's mom. But wow, he really thinks he's still slick. That's the thing. It's like with Tom Sandoval. And as they age, after that kind of like pretty privilege goes away, where they're like young and attractive and you're younger. And then as women, grow older, obviously we've seen some things. We have experience with men like this. And then their kind of veil of like attractiveness falls and you're like, what are they actually saying? Let's listen. Oh shit. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. But they still think they're these 23-year-old models that can just pull the wool over women's eyes because they're just staring into their eyes. But no, there was no substance that developed through that time. And you're still acting like a man baby. And now it's very apparent. And it's become a joke. Oh my goodness. ALS says Jax is and always will be a knuckle dragger. No evolution or growth for him. Unfortunately. Yep. And that's why they date younger women, because they see that they have a better chance of manipulating someone younger with less experience with this kind of behavior. So, but yeah. It's a big joke, you guys. Well, that does it for today's No Offense, All Offense. I am going to be back tonight. We're going to be watching live The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18 Reunion Part 2. Again, I won't be able to show it, but I'll be watching it on my other screen. You guys feel free to watch it at home. And then during the commercial breaks and stuff, we'll chat about it, and it'll just be like a live watching reaction. I wish I could share my screen, but obviously they'll copyright strike me. But we did this with Big Brother for the finale episode. It was really fun. So I want to do this with the last 2 parts of Orange County and see if it's fun. And then hopefully the entire season of Beverly Hills Housewives coming up. So it'll be when it airs in the Eastern time zone. If you're not in the Eastern time zone and you want to watch in the Eastern time zone, the only way I know how to do that is through Sling TV. If you have a package through them, because they let you watch all the shows in the Eastern time. So you don't have to wait. And that is one advantage of them. I'm not paid to say this. This is just my experience with them. And then I think if you have a VPN, sometimes you can change your location, but it's never been successful for me to do that. Let me just double check on the time Eastern that it's airing. Let me check on my phone because I haven't logged in yet on my computer. So don't forget to smash that like, you guys, as well, if you haven't already. All right, let's look at my guide here and look for the Bravo. We'll see part 2. Part 1 was popping off. Okay, so Bravo, Real Housewives of Orange County, 6. So it's 6 my time, right? So it would be 9 p.m. Eastern. So 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern is when I will be here live. I'll be making my live. So make sure you have your notifications on so you get notified when that live pops up, and feel free to join me. Janky, I did try previously on Patreon to do that with The Circle, I think it was, and they shut my live down because as far as I know, Patreon, I can't go live directly from there. So I had to go live through YouTube and then provide the link to my Patreon and only Patreon supporters. And then I got struck. So until they figure out a way we can have those kind of watch parties, no, unfortunately. But maybe in the future. All right, you guys, don't forget to smash that like, leave a comment after the video post. If you're not already, follow me on social media, please, on Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok at Joleen Lunzer. On all of those places. Shout out to all of my super chatters today. Thank you, Chickenhead, PK, Dorkface, Neely, Christina, thank you, Liz, thank you, Noto37, thank you for gifting a membership to the channel. And I'll see you guys tonight. And like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.